Appreciating life is this moment zazening. Just this. Appreciating is not some private self-centeredness. And appreciating is ours. Ours to be, ours to do, ours to realize. No one else can do this. You, I, each of us must do this. Do zazen, be zazening, be ongoing practice. No one else can do this. And zazening is just this moment experiencing. It's most ordinary. There's no self-doing entailed. Very important. No self-doing entailed. Nothing special, nothing added. And nevertheless, we may miss this. We can miss this appreciation right here now. Please do not miss this. Do not miss this. Thanks for everything. This is being awakened by myriad dharmas, the myriad dharmas universe. Thanks for everything. Being attentive, present. And we notice all that we are no thanks for. Not this. I don't want. That shouldn't happen. And the many other variations of that. Being so, please notice if and when tangled emotion thought arises, when we are entangled, when holding reactions follow, especially if there is dissatisfaction, when there is suffering, harming, which follows along. These are our myriad practice opportunities. Dissatisfaction, suffering, harming, holding, opportunities to notice, opportunities for zazening, whether in formal sitting or throughout our life day. Of course, emotion, thought, in all variations, it's just this moment arising, passing, just this moment appreciating this. We can use words like realize, appreciate, manifest, or various other words. And it means appreciating what we want, appreciating what not wanting, appreciating what we do not want. Thanks for what we want, thanks for what we do not want, thanks for what should not be, and thanks for what so-called should be. See? These many variations are this Genjo koan, this koan of realized every day that is our life, your practice, the life practice of the universe. And despite it being so, we must make our effort realizing this, which is what nurtures manifesting this. So complaints are like waves on this ocean life that we are. Waves arise on this ocean life, or they float along and bounce along on this life river, if we use that image. Simple body, mind, coming, going. No problems except as you know, our tendency to cling to them, to build on them. And this clinging and believing and building is how and where we make trouble, where we harm this no complaints life. So if we can say, I have no complaints, if we can be, I have no complaints, it's the opportunity that enables us to see even these as they are, no complaints, no problem. And it's also the opportunity of noticing believing complaints, believing about problems, about resentments. So what we each can do is see what's skillful responding to this moment opportunity. What's the functioning of skillful responding, of taking good care? In a way, you could say the whole of Zazening is taking good care of this moment, of what comes your way as life universe, what appears as this way, this life of yours to take good care of. Not a life that's going to fit what I want, what I don't want, but a life that's mine to take good care of. Just do it. Take good care of this life. And even complaints are this moment arising, passing to take good care of. Even our entangling needs to be taken good care of. Our believing, blaming, and so forth. That's Zazening. That's ongoing practice. And sometimes it might seem to us that we are an ocean of complaint waves. Some of them will take ownership and say are ours, and some will say, oh, that's from other people. That's theirs, and yet it's ours because it comes to us from them and we take it on. Some of the forms of emotion thoughts, some of them are in the form of memories and hopes and many other forms. And in our life, sometimes they literally seem to be coming from others to us, people near and far. Sometimes even we let them in the forms of various media. Most of media are complaints and praise, trumpeting and exaggerating complaints, picking and choosing ways of entangling and exciting us, and unfortunately leading to all sorts of violent attitudes and behaviors, attachment, suffering, harming. The way our practice is what to do in the midst of this world of myriad beings and myriad events. And it's in all sorts of ways, very private, a phone call with someone, or very public. For instance, most of us here are far from Russia's war against Ukraine. And yet the media in all forms brings the details very close to us. If you notice complaints, reactions about the Russian leaders and soldiers supporting and engaging in raping, torturing, murdering people, yes, acknowledge these complaints and do what's skillful if there's anything skillful to do for you. Yeah. Write to your congressperson, write to or call President Biden. I write Biden from time to time. I don't get an answer, but I write to the White House an email. If you want, send money to various aid groups. Do metta practice. Include all these suffering beings in your zazen as the universe. And be very careful if complaints engender and solidify more complaints. This is our practice. This is just one example that I picked up that's very much in the forefront and that some people have mentioned, so I pick it up. But as complaints come and go, see the complaints as it is. See them as this coming, going of this no complaints whatsoever that is our life. Be this no complaints whatsoever, exactly this. Do your best right here. Do what's next appropriate. Or, if necessary and appropriate, see the many ways you are entangling right now, are caught in carrying something along. That's exactly Zazen, doing our best right now. That's the ongoing koan, the clarifying koan, the being this moment koan, the manifesting this koan, responding as the universe right here. That's all of our ongoing practice. Dogen Zenji writes, as many of you know, study the self, forget self. He doesn't write, get rid of self. Self is not something, much less something that we have, certainly not something that we have to get rid of. Therefore, Dogen says, body-mind drops away, dropped away, body-mind. And yet, self appears, self disappears in the midst of complaints and myriad forms. And that's our appreciating opportunity, which is this arising, passing moment, this responding, which is the awakened myriad dharmas. Seeing as clearly as you do, realize and manifest this koan of straightforward life, whether informal koan practice or this life Genjo koan. Clinging, holding, believing, reacting. We know, we see how this gives rise to suffering and harmony. And yet, these are our experiencing opportunities, our opportunities of noticing where appropriately, serving compassionately this moment, allowing releasing as needed, so that we can be this experiencing, this no complaints, myriad Dharma universe. Thank you for everything.